A very good morning to all my dear viewers and my dear little students. I am going to teach you all the subject of Corporate Communication and Public Relations, which is a semester 5 subject for the course of Bachelor in Management Studies, that is BMS, associated with Mumbai University. So the whole concept or the whole subject of corporate communication and public relations can be broken into two major parts. One, understanding what is corporate communication, and second, understanding what is public relations. So first two modules we will talk of as to what is corporate communication, the stakeholders, the laws associated with it, the ethics behind it, the theories associated with it, and then we move to the third and fourth module, which is the public relationship module, where we'll be understanding what are the roles and responsibilities of a PR. At the same point in time, we'll be understanding a budding concept of blogging, about vlogs, about what we are doing right now, online lectures, sessions, webinars that are taking place online, right? So let's quickly start with understanding as to what is corporate communication. Now again, if we split these two words, corporate communication, they are two different words which have deeper meaning within itself. Now what is communication? What we are doing right now is communication. Communicating ideas, thoughts, expressions, whatever possible in verbal or a non-verbal parameter between one or two people is known as communication. So basically, transfer of thoughts, ideas, expressions from one person to another person, or from one person to masses, to letting many people know about what you basically feel. So that's what this communication all about. And as humans, considering we are social animals, yes, we love communication. We cannot survive even half a day or maybe half an hour also without communication. We need to see Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter to see various sources. All these various sources, they provide us with various sorts of information. Now we move to the first topic, the first word, that is corporate. Now corporate is any organization or entity that is doing business, whether for profit or for no profit, as in an NGO or a profit-making organization. Say for example, Tata's, Birla's, Reliance, the government in itself is also a corporate, right? It's communicating things with us. It's living up to our expectations in a certain way. So when we put these two things combined together, corporate communication, it is how the corporates communicate with its various stakeholders. Shareholders, stakeholders, two different words altogether. Shareholders, smaller concept, those people who invest in your organization when your organization becomes a public limited company, right? So they buy shares of your company, and in return you give them either some sort of dividend payout later on. They buy shares of your company and they pay you. So they pay the organizations for their day-to-day functioning, for probably buying a certain plot, for their further diversification, expansion. For all those reasons, when company needs money, it lets people know that we are a public limited company now, that they can come and invest in us, and they become your shareholders. But stakeholders is a larger concept. It involves a lot of people associated directly and indirectly with an organization. Stakeholders can be divided into two parts: internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. Now, internal stakeholders means the people who are working in an organization, your employees. Then the managers or the management team of your organization, the CEOs, the board of directors, the CHROs, the chief financial officers, all those sitting on the top layer of the management are the management organizations of your organization. And then the third one being your suppliers, your creditors, the society by and large. Now these parameters fall under the external stakeholder parameters, okay, or the external stakeholders. stakeholders. So who falls under external stakeholders? We have your the society by and large, your customer, your consumers, your government, because you are paying tax to it. Then all the people who directly or indirectly help you fund your company. So all the NBFCs, the venture capitalists, the shareholders are your external stakeholders. Okay, and the society by and large, as we discussed. So when we put into the stakeholder category, we have two parameters: internal, external. Internal is your employees and the management of the company, the owners of the company. And in the external, we fall with customers, consumers, we fall with your suppliers, your creditors, we fall with shareholders, we fall with the society by and large, and we fall with the government. So all these people will be affected when you function or you have a certain brand or you have a certain product or service selling into the market. Now say for example the recent phenomena of the Adani electricity bill, right? Now Adani in itself is a power generator, also into other all businesses, but what is one of its main business? To provide electricity to various many households. So who will become the stakeholders for Adani? Its employees, the people who come and read your units, lower level employees, the people who sit in the offices and probably punch in certain codes so that your bill is being generated, and the people who are sitting on the top management who are taking all the decisions are the ones who are the stakeholders of the organization. Apart from it, if you are using electricity of Adani, you also are its customer and you become one of its external stakeholders. Then the government becomes its external stakeholder. Why? Because Adani has to pay a certain tax or certain sort of provisions to ensure that it supports the government. It pays back to the government, right? As society by and large, why? Because people are affected that Adani as a company exists in the market. Hence, when we talk of stakeholders, this is a basic round example of understanding what an organization is and how its stakeholders are affected. And why does the company time and again have to communicate with these stakeholders? So that it runs effectively in the market, it has a long-term survival. Employees in the organizations are happy that they're associated with this particular organization, and at the same point in time, the government gives them all the necessary layoffs or certain certain kind of subsidies so that the functioning of Adani can be possible. Hence, it has to constantly communicate with these people that this is what I'm doing, this is how it will be, this is what my product and services, this is what we have to offer to you. And that is why the whole concept of corporate communication is very much important for any organization to follow. And it has a lot of PRs, the third and fourth model that we're talking of, PRs, to make sure that these companies communicate rightly with all these various stakeholders. So for today, we'll just do a quick revision to understand what is corporate, what is communication, what is corporate communication, what are the external and internal stakeholders. So corporate communication stands for the communication that the corporate does with its various stakeholders, that is internal and external, so as to let them know about the various policies, to let them know about the various upcoming projects if at all they have, to get the right number of people to be investing in their organization, to have the right number of employees who would want to be there, prospective employees within the organization. Internal stakeholders, the owners, the management team, and your employees, the people who are working within the organization. And external stakeholders, the सबसे important point or the सबसे important person, your customer or consumers, without which your organization will not work. Government, because you have to pay the right kind of taxes. Society, by and large, because it is giving you that functioning space, it's giving you the resources that it has so that you function smoothly. Then your creditors, right? Because if they don't give you money, if they don't share out their funds with you, will you be able to function for a longer point in time? No. All your debtors, all your suppliers fall a part of your external stakeholder parameter. So this is for the first chapter to understand what is corporate communication, its stakeholders and why it is important. We'll continue the next session with understanding the various ethics, laws related to corporate communication. Have a good day. Take care. Thank you.